I welcome everyone to today's show. You're welcome to the Chima podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to the show. Don't forget to like it and send it to your loved ones. And follow me on YouTube at Lord Chima. Ladies and gentlemen, in 24 hours, President-elect Donald J. Trump will be inaugurated the 47th President of the United States. I have decided to refresh your memories on why we are where we are at the moment, on why Trump won the election, and why on Monday, the 20th of January, which is literally 24 hours from now, he will become the number 47th. I'll give you guys a background. Trump, number 45, soon to be 47. He built an incredible coalition. Incredible. It started in 2016. That base that he built, they never left him. He was able to expand on it. How did he do it? Trump embraced something similar to the pro-FDR New Dawn kind of program. He was pro-working class. He was pro-blue-collar workers. And he was pro-union. So essentially, Trump was able to pivot to the left on economic issues. But on cultural issues, he remained rooted to the right. He was anti-woke, anti-trans, stuffs like that. So having done that, he was able to consolidate that 2026 base. So his was, or rather MAGA, was an economic populism, and with Trump's kind of swashbuckling attitude, his consistency, he was able to keep that base. He became irresistible to fair-minded Americans. And that's why we saw the kind of victory that we saw in 2024. So, we are very quick to forget. That's why I wanted to refresh our mind. A day or so before he takes the reign, before he goes back to the White House. So there are about 5. I'll try to condense it to about 5 issues, I think, in my opinion, that made it possible for Trump to win the election. The first item was, or is, that Trump was able, like I said, to consolidate his 2016 and 2020 base. Remember, in 2016, he won by about 64 million, 65 million votes. And in 2020, he expanded it to about 75 million votes. So that coalition that he built, they never left him. It was incredible. They never left him. So what he did was, in both 2016 and 2020, when he expanded the base, in 2024, he was able to consolidate that base with the rural white working class votes. So he was able to do that. And the remarkable thing that he did in 2024 was, having consolidated the white rural working class votes, he now ventured into the belly of the beast. So what's the belly of the beast? The traditional Democrat territory. He campaigned in the Bronx, campaigned in New Jersey, campaigned in Manhattan, campaigned in Colorado. Some people were saying, what the hell is he doing in deep blue Bronx, deep blue Manhattan? There was a method to the madness. What was that method? He wanted to, having consolidated his rural votes, white working class vote with his 2020 and 2016 coalition, he wanted to go into the belly of the beast. By so doing, he will significantly minimize the Democrat votes in urban areas. He did that successfully to win the most non-working class vote in almost half a century of any Republican running for president. And that was very remarkable. So it was that audacity to venture into that belly of the beast that saw New York, New Jersey shift double digits to the right. You look at states like Massachusetts, Chicago, they all moved almost double digits to the right. And Virginia too. So he was able to change the electoral landscape, took the whole country, with the exception of 3 or 4 states. He took the whole country to the right, cleared out all the battleground states, and won the popular vote. He always wanted our popular votes, and he got it. I think that his victory in 2024 was remarkable to the point that if he had won re-election in 2020, he wouldn't have conveyed the same weight. Because I remember after the January 6th protest of 2021, before Biden took power, I remember a very close dear friend of mine was telling me in my house that Trump was done. He's inelectable from this point on. Even though I disagreed, but it's difficult to argue with that, with the whole January 6th and all that going on. It's difficult to argue. But the comeback is remarkable. The comeback, it was remarkable. It was remarkable. So the second point was this. Trump was clear and consistent in what he wanted to do. You may disagree with his points, you may disagree with his policies, but he was clear from day one, as opposed to Kamala Harris. You hear him say, drill, baby, drill. You hear him say he was going to impose tariff to pull in money from other countries. You will hear him say things like he was going to reshuffle the federal bureaucracies. He was anti-wokeism. He wanted to close the border. He wanted to do mass deportation. He wanted to fight inflation. He said he wanted to end the war in Ukraine. He said from day one. I think that's metaphorical. I hope he ends it, but not from day one. And then that he will bring peace to the Middle East. And remember, the first time he was successful in instituting the Abraham's Accord that saw the Arab countries, about 4 of them, Saudi Arabia was to follow, making peace with the state of Israel. And Biden came in and everything was poo-pooed. And then you can see him now, before even taking power, he has been instrumental in engineering the peace between Hamas and Israel. You know, when the mayor of the largest Muslim city in Michigan endorsed Trump, they knew he was the one that will be able to bring peace. And I hope that the ceasefire would hold and Hamas will not do anything stupid, or that Israel does not renege and begin to escalate. So that's Trump for you. So he was very clear, and Americans saw that. The number 3 point why Trump was successful, in my opinion, is that the Biden administration and the Democrats, they overplayed their hands. They were so adamant in trying to get Trump, bring him down, that they did it in a shameful, brazen manner. Because once he announced that he was running for president, all hell broke loose. He was indicted at the federal level, indicted twice in New York, indicted in Georgia. It became messy. And everyone saw him as a victim. And remember, he is the master marketer. Every opportunity he turned into, every adversity he turned into opportunity. Remember the mugshot in Georgia? It was in Georgia. I believe it was in Georgia. He turned it into a marketing genius. So, they overplayed their hand, and Americans became sympathetic to a billionaire and gravitated towards him. And the strength that he portrayed when he was shot, like him or hate him, you have to admire that. And humans generally admire strength. And that's what happened. So he showed strength, consistency, and a never die attitude. Americans loved it. Americans loved it. Now, the number 4 factor that helped Trump, he's a marketing genius. It was social media. He tapped into social media than any other presidential candidate in modern American history. He was on TikTok, he was on Facebook, he was on YouTube, he was on X, he was on podcast, he was everywhere. While Kamala Harris was hiding and hoping that the mainstream media will give her the necessary cover and do the campaigning for her, Trump was all over the place. He was in the barber shop, he was in restaurants, he was in McDonald's, he was everywhere. And people liked it in their leader. People loved it. And remember, this is the era of social media, podcasting. He went into Joe Rogan, of course, we know Tucker Carlson, and there are other younger podcasters that even his boy, his son, Baron, recommended, and he actually went. So that was wonderful, and then he was able to build alliances with Tulsi, Vivek, Elon Musk. That team was unbeatable. You can't beat that team. So it was an effective strategy that blunted every attack from social media. And that is why he's ascended into the presidency again. And the last thing I think helped him was election integrity. There were less illegal votes because there was less mass mailing votes. So because of that, the system wasn't overwhelmed. And he was able to overcome the Democrat advantage of early voting, especially in battleground states that saw in many years Republicans were able to match and in some cases surpass the Democrat early voting advantage. And once that happens, we knew on election day it's going to be a blowout, and that was what happened. So we say kudos to President-elect Trump, soon to be number 47 on Monday, in practically 24 to 26 hours from now. And we can't wait to turn around this economy. We can't wait for inflation to go down. We can't wait for small businesses to rise again. We can't wait for interest rates to go down. We can't wait for mortgage rates to go down. We can't wait. You can imagine you're a business owner, you're borrowing at 8 to 9%. That makes it difficult to raise capital, to invest. So we're looking forward. 2025 and the next 4 years will be remarkable. And I hope that Americans will reap the benefit and the dividend of Trump's victory. And I hope that even some countries, there are a lot of emerging countries from Africa that are looking forward for the US government to endorse them, to help them in the freedom that they seek. The people of Biafra in eastern Nigeria, who have gone through a lot, they seek self-determination. And the people of Amazonia, they seek self-determination. They've actually been in a full-blown war with the Cameroons in the past 3-4 years. America has to do the right thing to step in. Somaliland is another place in Somalia. I understand they are very close to recognition. So the whole world looks onto Trump. end the war in Ukraine. A lot of people have been killed. Bring peace to the Middle East. I salute you. So guys, let me know what you feel, what you think, and don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. Don't forget to share and like it. And I will see you guys hopefully on Inauguration Day. Cheers.